Hi, everybody. This is James Wanless, and I have the privilege and actually the great joy today to be talking to you about my latest book, which is called Voyager, the DIY Do-It-Yourself Mindfulness Psychology. Quite a mouthful for sure. And why are we talking about this? Because I really know that this is a great practice and tool for you. I say DIY because we're all on our own. Basically, we're free agents and we have to be self-responsible and self-reliant. We really can't depend upon other people. And as we do that to make our way through the world successfully, we definitely need to keep ourselves healthy, the body for sure, but also of mind and emotion. And that's where a lot of times we get in trouble. We kind of lose it. And that's why so many people are on medication. And when we get unbalanced, our decision-making becomes fuzzy. We get stressed. We're not in our power. And we're compromised. We're limited as human beings. So I am a real proponent of this tool called Voyager, which is a deck of cards that I created way back 30 years ago. But it's way more than a tarot deck. It's way more than some prediction fiction kind of thing. It is psychology. And it's something you can do for yourself to be your own psychologist, if you will. And so when we do our own psychology, though, what kind of psychology is that? And I would definitely say it's mindfulness. Mindfulness is an ability to stay aware of yourself, how you're feeling, how you're thinking, what's going on within you, but on a continuous basis. This is presence. This is being aware of you from moment to moment to moment to moment, which is not an easy thing to do. But when you do that in a neutral way, mindfulness is being equanimous. Equanimous is a non-judgmental observation of yourself. I call it the fair witness. And when you are the fair witness of yourself, it's that witnesser or the observer in you looking at you go through all the stuff of life. The observer is what naturally keeps your balance on all levels, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's the balancer. And this is something that I learned way back in the 70s in the East, through days and days and hours of silent meditation called Vipassana, which is sitting and going through the body and seeing what's going on internally, but never judging, just watching. And the watcher is that pure part of you that comes from the great mystery of life, the life force, because we're all born from that life force healthy. We are all brilliant and all of those good things. But then, through life, we get a little crazy and stuff happens. But mindfulness is a technique of getting back to the purity of who you are meant to be, which is a very healthy being with a lot of brilliance and very happy and very successful and profitable and all those kind of good things, because it's naturally there for us to be. And actually, when you look at the Voyager cards, the backside of the cards is this wonderful DNA chromosome, one human chromosome. It's like a star. It's 10 points. And when we go into this mindfulness tool here, it's reclaiming the star that we are. It's reclaiming our natural goodness, the life force, the infinite source from which we are born. And this is the greatest adventure of all, to remember who we are. I think most people suffer from delusions of smallness rather than delusions of grandeur, frankly. And so with this mindfulness technique, what we do is every day we pick a card, one card from the deck. And that just shows us who I am and what I'm to pay attention to today. And that gives us that self-awareness. But since it's a continuous process, like a daily kind of thing, which I say a card a day keeps the shrink away. I love that. And true, I believe. That keeps you aware of yourself. But this is mindfulness with a kick. So it's not just being seeing who I am, which is really, really, really good, but becoming these cards. I mean, there's 78 cards here. They represent what I call the Uniman, the meaning the universal human. And this is so important. And the universal human is a multidimensional creature, us, but we don't know that. Well, the 78 cards and all the symbols that each card suggests that we are this and. So we see our incredible awesomeness, if you will. So it's not just being aware of ourselves, but aware of ourselves of, wow, what an amazing human we are. And because in this practice here, the idea is not just watch yourself through the cards, because every time you pick a card, it's a mirror symbolic image of me, of yourself, but it's also to become the cards. This is a growth practice. So that's why I say it's mindfulness with a kick. It's transformative, because in today's world, if you're not growing, and if you're not evolving and changing, you're losing, you're dying, you're going backwards, in my opinion. So this is a tremendous empowerment, self-potentiation practice. And not only that, but it's a little bit like this, what we call cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, which is learning to see, we get in these negative mind states and we get critical of ourselves and judgmental about it all. And we kind of go into these dark spaces and places. And the cards have these kind of cards. I mean, they have these cards. But the idea is once you pick it, you see it and say, okay, I see that. I recognize that. Okay. And then with the Voyager psychology here, you learn how to turn that around, how you can turn setback into opportunity, negativity into positivity, anxiety into awakenedness and alertness. So it's really learning to manage our own psychology. That's what I mean. It's DIY. That's here. And I love teaching this work. I mean, I can't get enough of, for me, work is joy, it's ecstasy. So if you get a chance, I hope, to catch up with me in a workshop or a training somewhere, or if you can't, go to my website, James-Wanless, W-A-N-L-E-S-S, James-Wanless.com, my website. You can get my books and my online trainings and all that kind of stuff. So it's all there for you. But let me show you how it works. I'm going to give you a really, really brief introduction. So here I am today. I want to know, who am I today? What am I supposed to be aware of in me today in an equanimous way? Equanimity means just pure awareness without judgment, like, oh, good, or oh, it's just like, okay, the truth. It's all about the truth. And once you've seen the truth of yourself, you are authentic. And when you're authentic, then you can be the author of your life story. And when you have your story in mind, then you can live it. And that's what life is all about. We're all purposed to be living our own story, our own authentic being that we are. And this is the way to get back to that. So here I am today. I want to know what to be aware of. Who am I today? Who am I today? I got the cards here, I'm just shuffling them up. And the nice thing about this kind of Voyager mindfulness psychology is you're trusting the mystery. You're going into the mystery. I don't know what card I'm going to get. That's life today. We don't know what's going to happen today. Who's going to email me today or call me today or whatever's going to happen today. So it's a perfect ritual or metaphor for how to live life in an uncertain, changing world. And when we pick a card, it's not logic. There's no reason here. It's an intuitive call. It's an intuitive choice. And intuition is where our genius is, our truth is, our authenticity is. So it's really learning how to trust your inner voice, your intuition, that little feeling that's actually up there, hardwired in our brain, really in the emotional part of the forebrain. Okay, but anyway, so I'm going to ask you, what about this card? Which card should I pick for me today? It's going to be this card. Okay. Oh, wow. I did good, but we all did good. So the idea of equanimity wise is it's all good. This is a card actually that's called balance. Balance. It's got a title at the top and a number and all that kind of stuff. It's a great left brain, right brain card, balancing on this samurai sword. They're really collage cards that I made 30 years ago with my partner, Ken Knutson. And it's cut and paste before Photoshop. It's intricate, it's cool, it's fun, it's wild, it's comprehensive, I'll tell you that. So who am I today? I'm Mr. Balance. I'm paying attention to my state of balance. And in the Voyager psychology, when you look at your human, the universal human that you are, we're looking at what's going on mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually. So today I am paying attention to being fair and just, equal to my mind, heart, body, and spirit, and not doing injustice to any part of my whole self. And today also, if I note that I'm a little out of balance for some reason, because I'm paying attention to it, because balance is an ever-present dance. It's a dance of shifting, because every time I do this, there's an equal opposite reaction. There's a teeter-totter effect to that. So if I'm seeing myself out of balance today, I'm paying attention to that. And then knowing how to rebalance my life, rebalance it. Now, what's really great for me, and I love synchronicity, the mystery of picking cards face down, is you begin to really see the wonder and the wackiness, but the amazingness of this quantum level of intelligence that we're living in, this mystery, like, why am I always getting the right card? Because actually, literally speaking, if you read the little book that comes with the deck, this is the psychologist in the deck. and that's what I do. That's what I'm demonstrating to you. This is what makes it so much fun, and what cards have power because of that power of surprise. I like oh my God, look at that. And the neuroscientists, the brain scientists tell us, and it's true, that what we remember the most is when we're the most surprised. Like, ooh, so that's why whenever I pick a card, it's always a surprise. And it's always, oh, look at that. It's always memorable. And like Plato, the great Greek philosopher, once said, the way to enlightenment, really, the way to wisdom is through amnesia, which is the way of memory, to remember who you are. And these 78 cards are all about remembering myself and healing myself and growing myself, empowering myself, and keeping myself balanced and centered in this crazy up and down life that we lead. Because if you really are not aware of yourself, and if you really don't know who you are vulnerable. You are at risk. I mean, we can't depend upon who I thought I was before from my family or my tribe or my language or my country or my company or any of that kind of stuff anymore. That's all breaking down in today's world. So we have to find a greater sense of self-identity, and this human, which is represented by the 78 cards of Voyager, this map of life. It is an evolutionary practice. It's taking us to a greater identity of a multidimensional being here. And once we can see that, connect with that, and be that, wow. That's what I just love. I love this practice. I love teaching this. I love sharing this with you. So if you get a chance to catch up with me, I travel around the world doing this, please do it. And I also do a lot of counseling and tutorials with this DIY Mindfulness Psychology. It's great stuff. It's about living whole, how to be happy and healthy and holy and wealthy enough. Okay, you got it. I think you got it. Okay, I think this is enough of an introduction. Hope to see you along the path somewhere, you guys. And I'm going to try and find the button that says how to return this off, and there it is. Cool. All right.